I mean, I get it. Don't bust in. Don't beat us up in the comments. I know y'all got dogs. Y'all love dogs. Your dog is your baby. I get it. But it's like, miss me. Oh, my God. We get it. Everybody's a parent. You a mother. We get it. But it's like, I just need a break. I just need a break for these dogs. Hey, my loves. Welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for joining us again. I'm Intisar. This is my beautiful husband, Joe.
Hey.
And we are back. If you are new here, do us a favor. Bust down, subscribe to this Mimi Satin channel, okay? We in here. Subscribe. Let us know that you're here. Make sure that you're commenting throughout the video. We want to know how you guys are absolutely positively feeling about Married at First Sight, okay?
I love that. Can I say I love that some people comment throughout the video and literally don't reference anything that's happening in the video. And it's fine. Just keep doing it.
What do you mean?
Like they'll be reacting to something and just literally just jump in the comments like, yeah, I thought that too. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And we like, I'm reading the comment like, what are you talking about? And then I see a couple of them and I'm like, that's cool. Just keep going it. Because my wife does that to me all the time. Yeah, except with her own conversations.
Mid thoughts. I'm giving him all my thoughts mid thought. We're talking all things Married at First Sight. This episode opens up with them still on this Mammy Tappan retreat, which I'm so over, and so is Lindy and Miguel. Y'all could keep that. Y'all could go ahead and trademark that. I done named on Mindy or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, they
so is Lindy and Miguel. They are exhausting the dog mess out of me. I don't know if you guys are feeling that way about them, but I for sure am.
Yeah, I mean, arguing all the time is exhausting, and they went from not having any problems to arguing all the time. It's
funny because part of me really does understand both of their sides. You know what I mean? I don't think Lindy should be in a space where she should have to censor herself. Like, I know that feeling.
Yeah, or feeling like everything you do is wrong.
Or feeling like everything you do is wrong. That's a terrible feeling as well. And I can see how Miguel could be
a lot.
I don't want to use controlling. Feels like a big word to me, y'all. I'm not going to lie, but
yeah, because I don't get controlling from him at all.
But I do think that perception is everything for him, and I think that sometimes when you come from a traumatic background and you have to like set yourself up a certain way, how you're perceived to other people becomes so important because you have been massively harmed by people around you. So now you have to be the good person. And I think that Miguel is so intent on being that person, it's fucking exhausting. I'm saying all that to say Miguel is making mountains out of molehills. Did y'all pick up on that alliteration?
Yeah, he is.
It's just too much. Also, that's the title. Miguel's making mountains out of molehills. So it's like, you know, I'm just like, I'm over it. I really don't have much to say about them. One of the things that I want to call out, but what do you feel? How do you feel about Miguel and Lindy?
I think that in reality, everybody goes through rough patches. Yeah. Everybody has growing pains, and I think that when you are so new to the situation, it just feels visceral.
Yeah.
And I think that that's all that they're going through. I think they're going to be fine. Like Miguel, the show kind of closed in a scene where they're sitting in the apartment talking to each other, and Miguel says, "This is too much, and I don't know if I could blah 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 blah." And in reality, like I remember feeling that way at one point, and then talking to friends or talking to another couple, and then realizing like this is not a big deal. Like,
yeah, you weak in the knees. Stand up.
Yeah, like you feel like that.
Stand up.
You feel like that in the moment because you're in it.
Yeah,
and then when you
sure.
can get out of it and evaluate it and think and realize on the grand scheme of things, like one of the things he said in that conversation was, we just have so much to tackle or whatever. And it's like every couple has a lot to tackle. Like you're never going to be done tackling stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But what kind of confused me is that Lindy, see, the problem is that Lindy exacerbates situations as well. She'll say, oh, this isn't a big deal, this isn't a big deal, but then cry for hours. So if I'm Miguel, I don't actually know if this is a big deal or not.
Because it feels like a big deal.
Because the way you're acting, you know what I mean? And not to say that she shouldn't be emotional. I try not to shame people for their emotions, but child, I'm so tired of these white woman tears that ain't even funny.
But I think that's part of what she keeps trying to tell him is what he's going to have to deal with. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that's what she means by that. Like these things feeling like they might feel like a blow up to him, but to her, it's not a blow up. And
she has good perspective because she's thinking in the spectrum of life.
Long term, yeah.
Yeah, in the spectrum of life, none of this shit matters. Like, we'll get past it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who don't argue?
Yeah.
Or have moments or, you know what I mean? Like, and it's funny because I'm watching it like, oh, God, please. Like, I'm fast forwarding their parts. Because I'm just like, girl, I can't see another tear. I can't hear another thing about, what I didn't like, was she's entitled to talk to about you to her friends.
But this
she's
is
entitled.
The second time that this kind of topic has come up in this season. What relationships or friendships do y'all have or are y'all in where y'all are not allowed to talk to your friends or vent to anybody not named your spouse about your relationship? Like is this a thing for people in the world? Like let us know in the comments, like, because it's really wild to me. When I saw it the first time, I just thought, we see a lot of crazy stuff on the show, so I just thought like, okay, like they wild. But then to see it again from somebody who's seemingly level-headed.
But you know what though, that's what I mean when I say like the perception, like he has to look a certain way. But two things could have happened now, and this is what I was thinking when I was watching it. We don't know if the friend's energy changed.
Well, true. So let's give that, because I always say, and we always say, pick and choose who you talk to your relationship about, right? If you have a friend who you know, the minute you say, Joe spilled ketchup on my dress, she ain't fucking with Joe no more. You can't talk to her about your relationship with, because you can't, because then she come around and she got an attitude.
And he might be traumatized by Morgan and Ben.
That part too. So one, the caveat is, be careful about who you talk to about your relationship. But yeah, the cold hard stance of like, don't talk to nobody, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I'm just like, but how about them trying to teach these girls how to play Dungeons and Dragons, y'all? It really took me back to the night our friends John and Tanil taught us how to play spades. It just seems like spades. Like, if you don't fucking know how to play, guess what you won't.
Yeah, because it was like they was doing and I didn't know what was happening. Miguel seemed like he was doing a script, like it was almost like he was going through like a script that he had to read for an audition the next day, and they're like playing with these little toys. It was very confusing to me.
But did you get the feeling that Miguel's friend didn't like Lindy? Oh
no, I didn't. What made you?
I don't know. She seemed unimpressed, annoyed almost.
Okay.
So I don't know. What do you guys think? But still, let me know if I'm just picking up stuff that ain't there. But I felt like she seemed annoyed. I don't know what that's about. So let's move on.
She might have been annoyed with the game, as I was.
Yeah, that part. You know what I want to call out? In the beginning of this episode, Justin and Alexis are I think they're in the car on the way home. Mm-hmm. And he's talking about going to the gym. And then she said, do they have any thrusting exercises? Did I make that up?
No, you didn't make that up. I don't think that stood out to me. I don't think it was about the gym, though. It was about something, because in the moment it stood out to me, because in the moment I thought, here she goes shitting on him again.
But she was
so uncalled for. Yes, she was 1,000%, and it was so uncalled for.
I I wonder what that is about. I really, really do. It's really unbecoming. And somebody said to me in the comments, and I really want to reiterate this for y'all. First of all, I want to be clear. I'm going to say whatever the hell I want to out my mouth. Period. And when I say it, I mean it. You know what I mean? Like, I might backpedal on pussy pop sometimes, but the reality is that, you know, I really do call things how I see it. And I try to be as loving in doing it as I possibly can. Believe it or not. I'm a Virgo, so sometimes it does come off a bit curt. And for that, you know, I apologize for that. But somebody said to me that they felt like it was wrong that I called Alexis a bitch. Okay? And I want to be real clear. And the way that I responded, and this is straight up, if you could watch this and think about the relationships that you have, the people that you call friends, and have gone and go through an experience like she's putting other people through, and not think that she a bitch, it's really something the fuck wrong with you.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, a spade is a spade, and Alexis is who we thought she was.
She is a terrorist, and
period.
I don't understand why she feels the need to emasculate Justin.
But before we even move on to that,
go ahead, babe.
We have to stop giving people passes purely because of the color of their skin, and that it might match ours, or which I see a lot too, because of whatever they got in their pants. Well, if they walk around as a identified female, can we go with that?
No, we are not going there.
If they walk around and identify as female, then there's this expectation that you just better cape for especially black woman. Any woman or any black woman who doing this, just cape for her just because she black and she a woman. We gotta stop doing that shit. That's bullshit. Perfect example. I don't want to go too left. Kanye West. Kanye West is a black man, but right now he doing a lot of fuck shit. He's saying a lot of dumb shit out of his mouth, and it's embarrassing. I'm not going to just sit up here and cape for Kanye West just because he's a black male, and I'm one too. You know what I'm saying? So this idea, because I saw the comment. And I don't really go back and forth because in my past I did, and it would go to, and I would be. He's relentless. I would be, yes, I will not lose. Yeah. Right. So now when I see comments that are a little bit, I would say they poking the bear a little bit. I don't really respond to them, and that's why, because I'll go at you all week. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I don't feel like. Do you feel like it was poking? I do. Okay. But because I just feel like we got to stop this thing of let's cape for anybody regardless of the content. The stuff that Alexis is doing is abhorrent. Period. It doesn't matter whether she's black or whether she's a woman. It matters not. It matters not her sign, where she live at. I don't give a fuck if she from Philly and I'm from Philly too, so I can't criticize her because she from my hometown. We got to stop doing this. I see it all online. I see it all the time. I see it online. I see it, and it's like it's gotten worse in the past couple of years. It's like no matter what they do, if I'm a black woman and they're a black woman, I'm caping for her. If I'm a black man and they're a black man, I'm caping. And it's like, we got to kill that. Wrong is wrong, period. And Alexis is wrong, period. And I agree with that. But I'm not saying that to say don't comment. Like, it's okay for us to have discourse and you to disagree with things that we say. I wasn't talking about commenting or not. No, I'm not saying. I know you weren't, babe. I know you weren't. No, I'm saying that, you know, I want to be clear. I want y'all to comment. I want y'all to say stuff like that. But I also want y'all to be open to the discourse, because just because you say it don't mean it's going to change my memory tap mind. And I am notorious, as anybody who know me, for defending a bitch right to be wrong. Okay? I don't give a damn. You could be like, y'all ever see the meme and the girl's like, she doing the hair and she be like, yeah, girl, I just had to go to trial because I was out here boosting all that stuff. And the hairdresser's like, oh, well, girl, they should have had the tags on it. Yeah. And they like, oh, well, girl, I did bust out his tires or whatever the case and bust out his windows. And it's like, oh, well, girl, he deserved. That's me. That's her. That's me. That's her. So if she's saying something, especially for a woman, especially for a black woman, she's calling a spade a spade. Period. Because that's where the one thing I appreciate. That's one of the big things I appreciate about her is she will be Captain Save-A-Ho all the time. But the one thing that she does draw the line at is calling a spade a spade. If we, especially even if we, and a discourse between mixed company and she holding down the right side and somebody else. At the end of the day,
people will sit in your face and talk to you from the place that they want to be, not reality.
Right. But
and that bothers my soul.
At the end of the day, where we draw the line at is calling a spade a spade. Where we both draw the line at is calling a spade a spade. I don't give a fuck what you do, where you from. If you share my skin color, my sign, if you share my last name, if you're my sister and you do some fuck shit, I'm gonna call you out. Period. So I don't want to hear because the bulk of the comment was dressed in her just being a black woman, not defending anything she did, not saying well she's actually a good person, not none of that. It was just well you shouldn't call a black woman. Like, what you mean?
Because her mother could be watching or whatever the case may be. I curse around my own mother,
please.
So y'all already know I'm an adult. You know what I mean? But I'm saying
she's a terrorist and she terrorizes her husband at every turn.
So let's dig on in. So thank you for coming to our TED Talk. Just wanted to get that out there. Like, I want y'all to engage with us. It's so important to me that you guys do. But I don't want y'all to feel super offended. We don't know these people. We just talking shit. That's number one. And number two, I will. I will. So let's dig into Alexis and Justin. Justin went and picked his dog up from prison, his wolf. This dog,
she's a husky and she's gorgeous.
No, that dog is from the wild.
We've never seen wolves. Let's be clear. All of this information that's coming from Alexis and all that, we've never seen it. I'm team Nate. Alexis is a liar.
Wait a minute, let's get there.
Well, I am getting there. So I'm saying I'm not taking Alexis' word. The dog that I seen, he picked the dog up. The dog didn't bark. The dog didn't make no sense. The dog got around a friend. But
the dog has been in prison in the 23-1.
But there have been a lot of wrongly imprisoned people going through the penal system. So I will say this: I'm gonna give that dog I'm gonna grade that dog on its own merit. From what I seen on camera, the dog didn't give nobody a problem.
But that poor baby dog, let me say this: he goes and picks the Mimi Tapping dog up, okay, and we are thinking he taking the dog home. His friend drove 17 hours. I don't know where that motherfucker lived. But he drove 17 hours from Europe and decided he was gonna go pick up this Mimi Tapping dog and keep the dog because he the only. Now Justin did say this friend, I can't remember the friend's name. Sorry, friend. This friend is the only person that Maya gets along with outside of him.
No. That's not what he said. So let's clear it up.
All right, what he said?
He said, "This is the only person that the dog loves more than me."
That's what he said.
He did not say get a very different word.
That is very different. Yeah. That is very different. See, that's how people get all him done.
And 1,000%. Because I never seen the dog. I will call it spade when I see it.
So he gets rid of the dog, and
but my thought process was, you don't have no friends in San Diego that
he just told you that the damn dog be snapping on people, and the only person the dog don't be snapping.
No, that's not what he said. We just cleared that up.
Well, that's what he meant.
No, that's not what he meant.
Apparently, that's what he meant. He ain't had nobody in the 5-block radius to come pick the damn dog up.
If he was intelligent, he would have gave that dog to his next door neighbor or somebody else.
So the dog can snap.
So he can keep the dog in the city because the woman is going to leave him soon.
And that's not up for debate. If they stay together, y'all, I would be so. I mean, I would be happy for Justin because I know that's what he wants. So I'm not going to pretend.
No, I wouldn't be happy for Justin.
Him, but
because Justin with all of his quirks, with a better match, would flourish. With everything that comes with him. He looks so depleted. He looks depleted. And the one thing that Justin came into this with that's so admirable is he was 1,000% here to be a husband. He's 1,000% believes in love. He 1,000% believes in the institution of marriage and all of the things that comes with it. He's not a perfect person. None of us are. He got a lot of things with him. He got a lot of baggage with him. All of that stuff. We all do. You know what I'm saying? But if Justin was paired with a better person, he would be flourishing. So if they did, in the event that they stayed together, which is 1 out of a million, because I'm almost for sure that they are not going to say yes on the decision day. But in the event that they did, I would be just as sad as I was when Miles said yes to Karen on decision day.
Yeah. So what y'all think? Y'all think they're going to say yes? Bust in and let us know. I wish it was a poll thing we could put up here because I would be curious what y'all think about that. But are they going to stay together, y'all? What do y'all think? Well, he done got rid of this damn dog. And rightfully, so two things happened where I kind of agree with Alexis. At first, Alexis had me like shaking, nodding in her defense because he can't hold this over her head, right? So first I thought, she's right to feel like, don't hold this over my head because you had to make a decision.
No, but I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you there. Don't lose your train of thought because it's not the fact that she's valid and feeling that way. It's the fact that she said it in the very moment that these people walked in the house from giving the dog away.
But y'all, she couldn't wait to get that motherfucker. She literally threw the dog shit out the door.
Yeah, like come on,
she
bro.
Had, you know how when you get all your groceries and you like, I'm not making 2 trips, and you put everything. Right. She had everything. You know what I mean? And
but it's just the fact that timing is everything, and that's one thing that you really have to learn to be sensitive about, that I'm learning to be sensitive about in marriage. Is timing, right? We talked about it last week. Was Miguel valid to feel the way he felt? Yes, but that wasn't the time to share it, right? This is not the time. The dog is not even cold in the car yet, and he's sitting on the couch venting to you about it, and in the same conversation you go, yeah, that's good and all. I know you feel bad, but just make sure you don't hold it over my head. Just make sure it don't mean everything to you. Like, this is not the time to share that. You know what I mean?
So I've been to therapy, and the thing is that somebody cannot make a sacrifice on behalf of you, and then you say, well, I ain't asked you to do that. Like, as if they had to make that decision on their own. They made that decision with you in mind. So for you not to acknowledge the brevity, the breath, the what that took, and pretend like, oh well, but don't you had to make that decision. Like, no, like, this is a decision that happened in the midst of our marriage, that I'm making for our marriage. So do you only benefit when I'm making good decisions for our marriage? Is it only okay then? And then when I'm making bad decisions or decisions that may affect me, do you not feel that? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what I kind of took. And it's not I don't want to always be breaking down her stuff just to say I don't agree. Because at first I really did agree. Like, and part of me does still agree. Like, don't get me wrong. It seems like he's going to make this a much bigger thing. Like, oh, well, I did this and you just supposed to be with me, which is very creepy. Okay? So, Alexis, I'm with you there. But
I think the thing is, context matters. It's a big thing because we have to apply the context to it. It's a big thing because he's doing this based on the assumption that you two are all in and moving forward together.
Right.
So for you to allow him to do it, it's like we saw this on, I don't know, it was 2 seasons ago, where the guy ended up like moving out of his apartment or something like that, or
Gil.
It was Gil.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gil
it's the same thing.
Gil, it's the same thing, right? Yeah. So is it the end all be all of your relationship? Is it something to hold over your spouse's head? No. But it's a big deal because before I made this major move, you could have communicated to me, you know what? Maybe wait to do that because I'm still in the gray area.
Yeah.
That's why it's a big deal.
So when he texts Alexis, another thing I didn't like was Alexis saying like, yeah, then he texts me this. And it's like, we literally live in a world where people don't like to answer their phone. Not to say that she may not be one of those people, but some people text because one, it helps them clarify their thoughts. And what is wrong with him saying like, I just need you in this moment to tell me that we're going to be good because I'm going through it because I just gave my dog away.
Right.
In the same way you didn't want to stay in the house because you felt so scared that you were going to be attacked. This man literally made a gesture for you to feel, safe and at home and know that this is important to, keep your relationship going. And you just like, he texts me and asked me to affirm him, and it's like, I just don't get it.
Let me tell you why.
I'm
going to explain why I have a lot of deeply rooted issues with Alexis, because I'm the keep that same energy guy, right? So for me, it's the hypocrisy in a lot of the things that she does. We just sat up there and watched her a couple episodes ago tell him to his face, I don't think that I'm not sure that I even want to be married to you. And in her thought process, he was just supposed to eat that and keep moving in the conversation. For him to say that he's wavering on her is this giant red flag.
Well, then don't choose me.
Don't choose me. I mean, I should be nothing. She literally said in the episode, well, nothing I say should ever have an effect on your opinion or your decision. Like, this is the same girl who said in the same, you understand what I'm saying? It's the hypocrisy. Like, she's a giant hypocrite.
She's a gaslighter.
She's a gaslighter. She's a giant hypocrite. And there's no empathy for the other party.
The scariest thing is talking to people who will take your words and then, like, mix them all up and then send them back to you as if you're the crazy one. And I think that's what Justin is going through. Like, am I nuts? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's gaslighting. Like, I was watching this thing on the Red Table Talk. I don't know if you've seen this clip. And they're talking to Jada, and they're talking about the difference between a liar and a gaslighter. A liar you present a liar with the facts. They'll be like, damn, you got me. This is really what I did. Whoop-de-whoop, right? That's a liar. A gaslighter will say, oh, you did all that. You going doing all the security stuff. Like, you're crazy. You know what I mean? And make you feel crazy because you have the facts. You know? And that's Alexis.
That's Alexis.
It's really hard to watch.
Yeah, and she's also a liar. Nate, you're right.
But the way Nate so effortlessly, it took nothing from him
at all. Because why? And I said this the other week. Because they've talked about this. He's talked about this with Stasha. There's no way he hasn't.
Oh yeah.
At all.
He's just like but you know what though? They don't seem like they be talking.
Why? I feel like they do be talking. I feel like they kick it. I feel like they like each other.
I feel like they like each other. I don't feel like sometimes they be talking.
They might not be talking about nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which ain't bad either.
Right.
Which isn't bad either. But I just, for me, it's just really hard to watch. And I'm kind of like, for so many other reasons, Justin should be like, oh, well, is the dog the only reason why you... Like, he asked you to affirm him, and then you say, why? Is the dog the only reason why you want me to...
Yeah.
I'm going through... So this is a loss. He's grieving. And
he literally did it. The thing that springboarded it was him thinking that you were all in. Because if you would have told him, I'm not sure...
Right.
Then he wouldn't have done it.
Right.
And the fact that you can't understand that, let me back up, because it's not that you fully understand it, but you're a professional gaslighter. So you took that and flipped it on him.
Right. Like, what did she say? She said, I know that you giving up your dog means a lot, but I don't want it to mean everything.
Yeah.
Like, in regards to his decision to stay with her, and the idea that I would give away something so precious, and you don't understand how that was... At one point in time, this dog was everything to him. Period.
Right.
Period. 7 years, that's a long time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, wasn't you bitching and moaning about your little raggedy ass red dog? Yes.
But see, that's what I mean.
But that's the gaslighting.
But also that's the hypocrisy in her and the lack of empathy. And I got a big problem with people. I got a big problem with people, period, who never have a lack of empathy for the other side. They will do something to you, but if you do it to them, and they never make the connection. And that's Alexis. She never makes the connection. She's never the putting myself in the other person's shoes person ever. Because if it was her dog, this would be the biggest deal in America.
When the dog got scratched in the eye, it
talked about it for months.
It's just like, girl, like, dogs fight. I mean, I know that sound bad. They don't. Well, never mind, y'all. Just scratch that. But I'm just like, I'm just so, like, detached. What adds insult to injury for me, and we can move on into Stasha and Nate from. Well, let's move into Kristen and Mitch because they go on, I guess, like a double date with Kristen and Mitch and Alexis and Justin. They all go out, I guess, to the rooftop to play some ping pong. Justin is visibly exhausted and tired.
He's drained.
And first, let's talk about Mitch. I don't even know what to say about this man anymore, y'all.
Yeah.
It's like either Kristen is stupid as hell or Mitch is bamboozled. I don't even know. I don't even know what would ever make you think. So many issues with the conversation he had with Kristen. First, he didn't wear his wedding ring, which to me is not that deep. You know what I mean? I take my wedding ring off all the time.
Yeah, but you take your wedding ring off in the house.
Sometimes I forget to put it back on though.
You.
And when I do, I'm like, oh.
You don't
because Joe will be livid.
You don't ever go on trips and leave your wedding ring.
Oh, I would never.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's true. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I just think that
he white. He don't need no benefit of the doubt
at all. And I think that
sounds so bad, y'all. But I said it.
The fact of the matter is, if Mitch pigmentation was different, people would be dragging this dude.
I think they already are. You don't think they
aren't? They aren't.
People was getting on Mitch.
I haven't seen one, and I be trying to be in the Twitter streets and the YouTube streets. I haven't seen the energy that some of these other dudes would have gotten, and y'all know what I mean. Mitch ain't getting.
You think it's different?
It is, and it's like, imagine if I sit up here and tell you, yeah, I went on this trip with all of these shorties and there was a lot of bad Jones, and I left my ring in the car because I just didn't feel like being married that weekend. This is literally what he said. He literally said, I didn't feel like being married that weekend.
I can't imagine. First of all,
let's stop there, because think about all the fuckboys that we've seen people say stuff like this.
Yeah.
And think about the
well, we've never seen anything like this. Like, let's be clear, this is some new shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to wear your wedding ring because you don't want people at work to know you married.
Bro,
I don't understand. What did they think you were taking off time for? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. That's number one. Number two, Kristen being okay with it was kind of odd to me.
But it makes perfect sense because it's consistent with how she's folded herself into a pretzel. Excuse me. How she's folded herself into a pretzel to appease Mitch, to keep the train on the tracks. She's done this for 1,000 episodes.
Well, it's terrible. My thing is this. First of all, a lot of her frumpiness, and I know, and I'm trying to say this in a way that y'all can, is her confidence.
Yes. And I think the confidence bleeds into why she allows this bullshit to happen.
Because she would have said that, and I would have been like, oh, first of all, I'm not even going to go there because it'll say so much about my personality. But when I tell y'all, I'm the keep the same energy queen. I mean, you've never met a bitch in your life. In your life that will keep. One thing I'm going to do is get my lick back. So I don't give a fuck. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like I wanted to jump in her body because she's trying to be the doting wife because she's a good person. And people always say like, oh, you got to be, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be true to yourself no matter how this person acts. Nah, fuck that. From a person who, I historically am a human who keeps the same energy. I've never felt bad about it. I've never woken up and felt like, damn, I shouldn't have did that. Yeah. Or nothing like never. Never. So for me, it's like I just wanted to jump in her body because I don't want her to feel like, yes, he was being honest, but who give a fuck? Like, honesty don't mean that you can say and do whatever.
It sure doesn't. It doesn't absolve the person of the transgression.
The piss poor exactly.
It doesn't. Like, oh, well, at least he was honest.
Exactly.
What?
You should have aired him the fuck out. You little ragged. First of all, you don't even wash yourself properly. You would have the nerve to want to sit up and lay up under another bitch in a hot tub.
With your ring off. And the excuse being you just didn't feel like being married that weekend.
I can go back to being single Mitch.
Single Mitch, and he said it multiple times.
I'd have threw a drink in his face.
He said it multiple times.
I would have. It's no, and I don't condone violence, y'all. But
It's just fascinating to me the reaction that we have when people of different color do stuff.
But I don't think it's because, I'm gonna be honest with you, Joe. I don't think it's because he.
Mitch's name was Daryl. Daryl was getting dragged.
But hear me out.
Period.
I think that people aren't giving as much credence because they are not surprised. So when you just feel like it's run of the mill stuff, I think it's more that. I don't think that it's like, he never was what we thought was a good guy. Never. Since the moment he got on the show. So at this time, if we are just like, we will be beating a dead horse to keep talking about how he ain't shit. And I think that's people are exhausted. They're exhausted. And I feel like Mitch is tired. You are fucking 87 years old. Are you kidding me? Talking about beach babes. You are going to be, first of all, you don't have no money. You don't clean things properly. You live in a mammy shack. Properly. You know what I mean? And you think that these young girls, these beach babes is going to be checking for you? I would have read him for filth. And then went out and slapped something on my face if you picking up what I'm putting down.
What? No, we're not picking that up. Like, what?
I'm not even joking. Like, what the hell? Like, girl, you dumb. Like, it just is very odd to me. And she's not.
She's the ultimate.
I don't
people
think she's
pleaser.
dumb.
She's been doing this since the show started, and it's frustrating to watch. Like, it's frustrating to watch her constantly just. Okay, that's how he feels. And then and I think that's why people was so like applauding her when she had that little outburst, because for 99.9% of the time she's just like, okay, that's cool.
But the problem
he said
is
it, and it's like, bro, he be saying dumb shit all the time. You gotta give this shit back to him.
Literally,
you're not tired of him doing this shit to you?
Because we are.
Please.
We are. You trying to find a father figure for Luna raggedy ass. First of all, y'all have to stop. Y'all, let me say this. But y'all must be stopped. Y'all must be stopped. These are animals.
Yeah.
A father figure? Y'all are delusional.
Yeah, y'all go
it's like it's too much.
Y'all go too far. I'm sorry. Y'all go too far. And I'm a dog lover, but y'all
a father figure?
Y'all be tripping.
Luna is probably as old as Mitch in dog years.
Literally.
You know what I mean? Everybody know if you the same age as your stepdad, he's not a stepdad, he's an uncle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's getting weird. Like, what?
It's too much. And I'm just like, Kristen, please. Then they go upstairs. He says all this, whatever the case may be. They go sit up in front of Alexis and Justin, and then she brings it up again, which is my problem with her.
She loves doing that too.
And you thought he was, but the thing I love, because he so ain't shit, all he did was double down. That's how you know he really don't give a fuck about you. He sat up in front of these grown ass people face and said he didn't have on his wedding ring, but he had on a
cock ring.
I didn't want to say that word, but yes. Do you know how I would have thrown my husband off the roof? And I don't condone violence, y'all, but I just don't like. Then they gonna sit up there and say, "Oh well, Mitch can't lie. Mitch can't." Well,
no, not they. Alexis. Let's call them as they are.
Because he was like, because Justin Alexis said something very valid.
Because Alexis always caping for some fuck shit. Because she's a fuck boy.
That's a fact.
Period.
But what Justin said was very valid. You feeding him lines like he could say that shit and not mean it, which. You're dealing with the same thing, Justin, but we're going to shut the fuck up. But I'm with you, brother. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, literally like, so you want him to say, I just want you to say I'm an incredible woman. He doesn't believe that, honey.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Honey, he's a Leo. If he believed it, he would have said it.
But also, this is going back to like the Stasha and Nate thing. Like, just tell me you love me. Like, are you going to argue them into the feeling and then accept the feeling?
Weird.
Like, how do you see this going? Weird. You're just going to give him lines to say to you and then genuinely feel like he feels that way? It's weird.
Now, let me say this. Part of me, as a woman who, me and Joe had to work on affirmations because Joe never told me I was pretty, like when we first started dating. And then you date other people and then you're like this most beautiful, thing. And we got back and I just was like, you got to work on that. You got to work on that. You got to work on giving gifts. You got to work on boom, boom, boom. And we have to talk about that. You know what I mean? And I do think that there is something to voicing what you need.
But the difference there is I genuinely felt like I was attracted to you. You didn't have to debate me on my attraction to you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These were feelings that I already had that I just didn't express, and we talked about why I didn't express them.
Yes.
Because that's a whole nother YouTube video.
Yes.
But we talked about why I didn't express, why I was never, in my years ago, my younger self was never expressive in that way to any woman, right?
Yeah.
So we had that conversation, but the feeling was there, right?
Yeah.
So,
but you gonna look up and lose your peace.
You didn't have to debate me on, well, are you attractive to me? So this is not the same.
But I don't even think I approached it that way.
She's debating him,
because my thing is this: I already know.
No, I'm saying that's what she's doing.
Yeah, but that's what she's doing. I was just saying, like, you better. What do my girlfriends say? Cop the fuck up, because if you cannot call me pretty, somebody else will. That's it.
But that's not what she was doing.
But that's not what she was doing.
Yeah.
That's not.
She's trying to convince him that he feels this way. You understand what I'm saying? Where our conversation was more rooted in, you feel this way, so say it.
Yes. And now Joe's much better for it.
Yeah, now she don't be wanting me to say it. Because I be saying it in the kitchen, in the upstairs.
Because I be looking a mess.
No.
I walked in the bathroom the other day, my hair is all over my head. He was like, oh, look at your hair. I'm like...
It got to be a certain way to her, not to me.
Yeah, that's true. But I think, so I get where she's coming from, but I also feel like, girl... I get you wanting to be a wife. This ain't the way to go.
Yeah, like you can't want it so bad that you will lay down your integrity. And that's what I'm seeing.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like...
Not at the expense of you.
Yeah, that's where it's going, and it's getting hard to watch because we getting closer to decision day, and I feel like she's
gonna give us 2 more episodes.
She gonna turn into what's the people who participate in the scary movies because they can twist their body in all of these crazy like
contortionists.
She gonna turn into the greatest contortionist ever. The closest we get to decision day, because that's how bad she wants him to say yes.
Yeah, like I can't.
And it's like in reality, you don't even know if you like this dude.
You don't. You want him to say yes so you can say no. We already know what it is. Have a good day. And she's going to say no because she's friends with Alexis. Put money on it.
Well, that's another thing I didn't even think about.
Because if you think about, y'all remember last season? Was it last season? The season with Gil and Mirla. They were friends with the other Hispanic young woman or Latino woman. I don't know what the right.
Oh yes, I know she. Yeah.
And she stays in the marriage and then decides
to get a divorce, didn't they?
Yes, and he felt like it was because of who she was hanging out with.
Yep.
So I'm gonna just leave that there.
Misery loves company. Cause guess what? Same thing happened with her when she was hanging out with Johnny.
There you go. So let's dig in lastly to Nate and Stasha. Oh, Stasha, please get out of your own way, baby.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Please.
I don't know why you are so hell bent.
You stressing this man out.
I mean, I don't know why you so hell bent on your husband or your significant other being afraid of you, being in fear. Like she went out in the conversation with her friend and said, I think us going to the furniture store scared him. Like nothing. We watched the whole segment. Nothing about him said scared.
Literally,
why do you want this so
finishes.
Bad? He was picking out finish. Like, literally. Why do you want this so bad?
I think it affirms her. It's funny. I was watching. We were watching this. What was it called on Netflix? It's with Mila Kunis. It's like a new movie out, and I was kind of watching it while I was praying Joe's here.
The last
girl or some shit like that.
Something like that.
And the husband says to her, I feel like I'm only a thing you're collecting so that people know that you have certain status. And that's how I feel about Stasha. I feel like she has to have these... People have to feel this way about her.
Yes.
in order for her to feel status.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, like it's not even so much for her feeling, but for
what
appeasing other people.
And what you think about her. Like, she wants you to see fear and feel like, oh, this must be a bad bitch.
Yeah.
And it's like, you are. Like, let's be clear, baby. You the one.
And even how he feels about her, I feel like, in retrospect, thinking about it now, even in relation to how he feels about her, it almost feels like he wants her to feel a certain way about her so that she can go ahead and relay his feelings about her to other people. Oh yeah, he told me he loved me. Oh yeah, he wants to do this. Oh, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like, almost like it's not even really for her.
All right, it's for everybody else. Yeah. But that's everything in her life. And I get it. I'm just saying that, first of all, do you feel like Nate don't want to have kids?
I feel like Nate had a traumatizing childhood, and it's affecting how he moves in the world as an adult, and it's bleeding into his opinion on whether or not he even wants to be a parent. You know what I mean? Which I get. His mama was a 20-something-year-old ain't shit parent.
Yeah.
And especially as a mother.
Well, yeah.
Especially as a mother, that can really fuck you up, right? And so I think that again, though, where's the experts? Like, I watch this stuff and I'm like, why are we not digging into this together as a couple and also separate as individuals?
But y'all not gonna have Devon Franklin on the bill and then only have him in one episode.
One episode.
Explain that, y'all.
Why?
Explain
why
make it make sense. I just don't understand. And
unless they had him film the entire season and cut most of his footage because they didn't feel like he was good enough.
I thought about that too.
I don't know.
No, but I thought he did a good job when he was on the screen.
I did too, but I'm just spitballing.
Yeah, it's got to be something.
I can't imagine they signed him on and he only came on one day and shot that one. You know what I mean? I can't imagine.
And then y'all announced it.
And had a big press release about it and did this whole thing.
No, I can't imagine that. But I'm saying all that to say, I feel like they go to her house, which must be brand spanking new, because it don't look the least bit lived in.
Yeah, it's not.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think I understood where he was coming from. Like, let's make it homey. But I'm a homey person, though.
But in reality, I think I connected with this from experience with us. In reality, I think that he's going to always feel like it's not his home because you started this process without him, right?
That's a fact.
So you built this house, you picked you picked all of the where things will go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you do those self builds, like we were at a place a couple weeks ago. I mean, you pick everything. Yeah. Where the room is gonna go, where the kitchen is gonna go, how many bathrooms you got. You're doing it to your likeness. You're doing it to how you want it. You want it to. It's gonna reflect you, right? So we didn't go through this process together. So I think he was holding his tongue back from saying it, but in reality, like
I think he kind of alluded to that.
Like, it's always gonna be your house. You started this process by yourself.
Yeah.
So really, no matter what we do to it, it's going to be your house.
I think I didn't feel comfortable until we moved to Vegas.
Yeah.
And not even, well, that's the truth.
I was going to say that I felt like part of the reason why she felt that way is because this house was completely us in the process, right?
Yeah.
Like when she moved to LA, we were both moving at the same time. And we basically both moved in at the same time. She only came like a couple weeks after, but she wasn't a part of that process. Yeah. I was going to look at the houses with my sister and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then even when we moved in, I just took my old furniture. So, you know what I mean? So I can understand the feeling of like, this is not my house. But then we moved here. We went through the whole trying process of finding this house. Yeah. But it was just us. So we were looking through the links and we on Zillow together. That's a part of the process because that's also a part of feeling like you accomplished it, right? Because if you know anything
like
about
a milestone.
Because it's strenuous, you know what I mean? So going through that process and then reaching the mountaintop together is a whole different feeling from somebody else reaching it and then you coming in and sharing the, you know what I mean? And so that's really what it is. Like, I'm sure she feels excited about, I built this house, but we didn't build this house. You built this house.
And I think, so I do, to your point, do think that there's going to be some of that. Yeah. I do think it's going to be a little bit of that. But I also feel like, girl, so this is weird. Nate is really fascinating to me, one, because he's a Pisces. And Pisces can be emotional terrorists. And that's number one. But they're also very loving. And and it could be the way he was raised, right? But what's very fascinating to me is that I don't feel like we get to see so much of the loving aspect. We see them being physical, but I don't see the loving aspect.
But I think that's I don't think that.
But I think there might be trauma.
I'm about to say, I honestly think that's just not what they show us with them. You know what I mean? Because I think that they are. When I say, like, I watch them and I feel like they like each other. Yeah, I do too. I feel like he's giving her that energy. Yeah. And she likes it and she's giving it back.
But she's intense.
But we don't see that on camera. You know what I mean? We just, you know what I mean? And to their, I'll give them the grace. Like we said, they film thousands of hours and then they have to whittle it down to a 60-minute episode or whatever it is. It might be 2 hours. Excuse me. So I think that's the thing there. But like, that's not their storyline.
It's funny for her to be an Aquarius. Well, they are intense. I was going to say she's super intense.
She's very intense.
And, you know, from my knowledge, my very little knowledge of the signs, and I don't know what his, you know, moon or anything like that is, but from, even if we're just talking about a Pisces and your basic sun sign, they are water signs are intense. Well, not water, Pisces are intense. So they almost need somebody who's light, like funny and a fairy, and you know, because they can get in there in the clouds and dream and everything. So they do kind of need an anchor, but they don't need it to be by way of intensity,
aggression.
Exact. No, for real.
That's what I feel with her. Like, I just feel like, girl, you are
by way of
aggressive.
Aggression. And I think that, you know, like, because it's funny. Joe and I are a Virgo and a Pisces, and one of our closest couples friends are also a Virgo and a Pisces. She's a Virgo, he's a Pisces. And him and Joe are like a day apart or something like that. So it's like really, really funny because her and I are always talking. We're like, damn, like we're like really and I love her. I love her husband. So I'm like,
yeah, the conversations we have are weird, y'all. And I don't mean in an actual weird way, but I just mean it's funny like how we'll have conversations about each other and things that we're going through, and it don't even have to be negative, even positive stuff. Just you just find the quirks and stuff, you know what I mean?
So you gotta believe a little bit in it, but I do think that it's a little bit too intense.
It's too intense.
And I just want her to give a little space. Like, let him kind of maneuver. See what he say. See what he gonna do. Even like with the white carpet. Why do you have white carpet?
Yeah. Because
like, period. Period.
But that's a part of it being a bachelorette home. Like he even said, like everything is. That's why when you go into a bachelor's home versus a bachelorette home, all his shit is dark. And, you know what I'm saying? All her shit is light because it's just her, and all her shit is dark because he's thinking this shit gonna get dirty, so I'm not gonna get a.
I'm thinking that too.
I'm not gonna get a bright couch. You know what I mean? So I think that's a part of why the house is not gonna feel like a home to him, because it's like I would have never picked a white carpet, just as a man, regardless of kids and all this other stuff.
Or I can't walk around barefoot.
Yeah.
Girl, if you got white carpet, bring somebody in this bitch to clean it. Yeah. So high maintenance, but don't want to maintain the grass, which I guess I get it. But then like, well, who gonna do it? He's like, I'm gonna do it.
She like, but that was just kind of,
and that bothered him. He was like, you know what, fuck this shit.
Yeah, because even that what made it very clear, like you didn't have me in mind when you planned this, and it's not to your fault. This is probably long before the show, but at the same time, it just speaks to the fact that this is your house. It's not my house. It's not our house. We can call it our house all
and
we want
trying. She is trying.
I don't know how much she's trying.
Well, listen.
Because even when she was talking to Alexis about it, she said, my house. She said it multiple times. You know what I'm saying? So that to me said right now.
Well, she was just throwing it in Alexis' face that she had a house in Alexis' home.
Yeah, you know, that's...
I'm telling you, that's what she was doing.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what she was doing. Like, not to say that Sasha's a bad. I don't think she's a bad person.
I know.
I think that some people just are who they are. You know what I mean? And she needs to be affirmed in that manner. And there's that.
Yeah.
There's that. So all I'm gonna say is y'all need to slow down with these meme tapping dogs. Okay, it's getting very delusional. It's getting very delusional. I'm scared for the peoples. I'm scared for the kids. I'm scared. Okay. Because these dogs are, you know what I mean, real boys, and I do not understand it.
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, I get it. Don't bust in. Don't beat us up in the comments. I know y'all got dogs. Y'all love dogs. Your dog is your baby. I get it, but it's like, miss me. Oh my God. We get it. Everybody's a parent. You a mother. We get it, but it's like, I just need a break. I just need a break for these dogs. So he done sent motherfucking Maya to Helsinki or whatever the fuck she going. Sent to upstate. She in Rikers or whatever.
Y'all got free Maya. Okay, I'm gonna start
high key. For real.
Let that dog come home because that other owner, her female owner is not gonna be there but too long. She got one more week.
Let us know who you think is saying yes on decision day, y'all. Who's saying yes? Who was saying no? It's a lot of delusion on this. This is a fascinating cast.
But how about them stepping in? Because the after party is over. So how about them stepping in and gonna say next week we're gonna have the cast of your favorite season of Married at First Sight. The fucking nerve of you to call last season our favorite season of Married at First Sight.
I don't even know who was on last season.
You must have lost your mammy tapping mind.
Not last season. Last season was Boston.
That's what they said. They literally said this is going to be the cast from your favorite season.
Or is it going to be a bunch? Because I saw a bunch of people from different seasons.
See, I don't. I saw a lot of people. From
the cute little chocolate girl and her Puerto Rican husband or Dominican husband. The one that was pregnant.
Yes.
I can't remember her name, but I love you, girl.
And then I saw Johnny. That's a different season, ain't it?
And then Johnny is a different season.
Oh, so they was trying to... Oh, okay. I thought they was trying to
why is Johnny on there? He was a villain. But you know what?
Also, he's single. I don't care. I don't care what he has to say.
No, like...
I really don't care what Johnny has to say.
And I mean this with all due respect.
Yeah, they got to figure that out.
I don't even talk to single bitches about my relationship.
Straight up, no.
I barely talk to bitches who...
Like straight,
I ain't
honestly,
gonna do y'all like that.
Honestly, like it's just.
I just don't. For what? And I mean that with all due respect.
I do too.
If you divorced, okay. If you a divorcee, okay.
Still, your energy.
But not these.
You might be with that fuck up energy.
Unless you Linda Marie, that's the only one.
Well, Linda cool. Linda's different though.
That's my baby. So if y'all have not already, do me a favor, bust down, subscribe to this Mammy Tapping channel. I am Intisar. Again, this is my beautiful husband Joseph. He gotta feed me, y'all. I'm done. I'm tired. I ain't got shit else to
ready,
give.
Bro. I got the pizza on speed dial.
We are not eating pizza.
Man, she always hating on my pizza.
He knew we wasn't eating pizza to her. He knew. He knew.
It could be quick.
He knew. But he thought he was going to slip this in here for y'all to make me feel like...
It could be a move. It could be a move.
It's not. It's nobody's move. You guys, you were just on tour. Then you ain't get enough pizza?
You could never have enough pizza, bro.
Goodbye. Okay, thanks. Thanks for joining us. Have a good one. Good night.